Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we step back into the 19th century to witness a man who swallowed a continent. In late 18th century France, the royal authority had disintegrated, the treasury was empty, and the streets were governed by factional violence. A ring of hostile European monarchs surrounded the new republic, intent on crushing the revolution before its anti-royalist fever could spread across their own borders. Into this atmosphere stepped a young artillery officer named Napoleon Bonaparte. As Ralph Waldo Emerson later observed, he was the incarnate democrat, a pragmatist who recognized that national instability was a ladder. The breakdown of the old order created a rare opening. Absolute power was no longer locked behind a royal bloodline. It was available to whoever possessed the skill to seize it. That skill was developed far from the palaces of Paris. Napoleon was an impoverished outsider, born on the rugged island of Corsica. His worldview was formed primarily by his mother, Laetitia. She was a stern figure who routinely elevated cold, rational goals above traditional morality. This upbringing embedded a core operating principle in her son's mind, the belief that all human problems are ultimately solved by the application of force. This focus on results insulated him from the era's idealism. While others debated the philosophy of liberty, he studied the mechanics of power and prepared to act. The harsh lessons of his youth produced exactly what France's state required: a ruthless visionary equipped to manipulate a desperate nation. He proved his utility through a string of victories at sieges like Toulon and battles like Rivoli, quickly establishing his dominance over opposing forces. His success relied on specific tactical innovations. He moved his armies with high speed and integrated infantry, cavalry, and artillery into a single strike force. His signature strategy involved driving a concentrated wedge through the center of a larger opposing line, splitting their forces in two. With the enemy divided, he would rapidly envelop and destroy each isolated flank, turning superior numbers into a disadvantage. At Austerlitz, he famously ordered his artillery to fire directly onto frozen lakes, drowning thousands of retreating Russian soldiers to guarantee total victory. This calculated military execution elevated him from a general to a sovereign of the battlefield, leaving the era's traditional kings with no effective response. Conquering territory was only half the project. To maintain power, he had to engineer civil order out of the chaos he had inherited. He established the Napoleonic Code, replacing conflicting regional rules with a single legal document that guaranteed equality under the law for all male citizens. To stabilize the national economy, he chartered the Bank of France, creating a reliable currency and a centralized financial system. He also instituted the Legion of Honor, a system designed to reward military and civil talent instead of royal birth. Yet, alongside these reforms, he abandoned the Republic's core ideals by crowning himself emperor. This pursuit of status demanded personal sacrifices. He divorced Josephine, the woman he loved, because she could not provide him with an heir, trading her for a royal bride. Even with an heir, his household was unstable. His own siblings constantly conspired against him while demanding unearned power of their own. Napoleon had built an efficient, meritocratic machine for France, yet he spent his final years trying to force that machine into the shape of a traditional royal dynasty. His drive for control eventually pushed him beyond France, leading to the disastrous invasion of the Russian interior. That miscalculation led to collapse. After his final defeat at Waterloo, he was exiled to Saint Helena, a remote volcanic rock in the South Atlantic. His son, Napoleon II, was kept as a political pawn in the Austrian court and died young, having never seen the empire his father built. His obsession with absolute control broke the very lineage he had sacrificed his marriage to create. But while the man was removed, his administrative systems survived. The laws and economic structures he engineered were too effective for succeeding governments to ignore. The Napoleonic Code was adapted globally, providing a framework for secular law from Latin America to Japan. His centralized frameworks became the standard for the 19th century nation-state, replacing feudal patchwork with uniform administration He provided the structural skeleton modern governments still use. Thanks for joining us for this journey through history here on The Explainer. Napoleon was an autocrat who ruled by decree, but by standardizing laws and opening careers to talent, he inadvertently created the administrative tools that would eventually make modern civil society possible.